Deputy President, I rise tonight to speak on the ongoing industrial dispute between the private operator of the transmission network in this state, TransGrid, and their employees, represented by the Electrical Trades Union. Electrical Trades Union members at TransGrid have been negotiating in good faith since October 2023, attempting to reach agreement on a new EBA or enterprise agreement that would secure good conditions and a pay deal that keeps pace with the cost of living crisis. Unfortunately, TransGrid refused and is still refusing to meet the reasonable requests of fair pay and conditions for those workers working on essential energy projects. Despite months of attempted negotiations, ETU members began protected industrial action in January of this year, and in recent weeks have been operating a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week picket outside TransGrid's offices in Ultimo. I had the pleasure of visiting the picket line and speaking to electrical workers and ETU members there last month. I spoke to workers from Goulburn, Coffs Harbour, Newcastle, who all told me their stories about why they need TransGrid to negotiate properly. They explained that workers at TransGrid are fighting for wage rises that simply keep up with the cost of living and conditions that will keep them safe while they work on site. This really is the bare minimum for essential workers who power our state and who are relied upon to deliver the renewable energy transition in New South Wales. The highly skilled workers at TransGrid maintain the transmission network and the critical grid infrastructure in our state. They will also be central to Australia's transition to renewable energy, with responsibility over connecting new renewable generation projects to the grid and the construction and maintenance of the vital transmission infrastructure needed for a carbon neutral future. Existing enterprise agreements at TransGrid have locked in pay increases below inflation, meaning that these workers' pay has gone backwards in real terms year after year. It's unacceptable that essential workers are being offered wages that do not allow them to pay for their mortgages, their rent, put fuel in their cars, or place food on the table. During the negotiations, TransGrid has made repeated offers to their workers that are not in line with industry standards across Australia and fail to keep up with cost of living pressures. TransGrid CEO Brett Redman has steadfastly refused to meet with ETU representatives at TransGrid or to even discuss the pay dispute or the future for many of these TransGrid workers, even while they stand outside his very office building across the road in cold winter temperatures. TransGrid is a multi-billion-dollar company, now privately owned by a majority of offshore investment and equity funds following the previous Liberal National Government's disastrous decision to privatise our state's electricity infrastructure. There can be no explanation other than greed as to why a multi-billion-dollar multinational is attempting to shortchange these highly skilled and hard-working electrical workers during a cost of living crisis. I was glad to have had the opportunity to visit the ETU's picket outside the TransGrid head office. I visited twice, in fact, and I note a number of my parliamentary colleagues have also attended that picket line, including the Honourable Anthony D'Adam, the Honourable Stephen Lawrence, the Honourable Emily Savall, Ms Abigail Boyd, and from the other place, the members for Leppington, Campbelltown and Parramatta. I'm proud to stand in solidarity with TransGrid workers and their union as they fight for a wage rise commensurate with the cost of living crisis that we're facing. TransGrid employees work hard every day to keep our state going, and it's only right that they get paid what they deserve. I urge TransGrid to bring this dispute to an end and come back with an appropriate offer rather than attempting to drag negotiations into intractable bargaining, and I commend the ETU for their tireless advocacy and action on behalf of their members.